Hey, how y'all
What's
doing?
up? What's up? What's up? Hey guys. We if you were seeing something that looks a little off, or maybe you need to adjust the settings in your video. You know a you know Look
Mm-hmm.
who showed up. Look
It's
look
been a
look
Yes,
look
he's
while.
who's
back on
back.
Frank.
You know.
It has been a
Back
while.
Um,
again.
so happy
He's
to
back,
have the
guys.
band back together. Warms my heart. We're gonna dive into Moon Knight. Moon Knight
Indeed.
episode
Indeed.
one just dropped last night, so there's lots to talk about.
First of all, let me
Um,
say, very glad to be back. Very glad to be
thank you.
back.
Glad to
Glad
have
to
you
have
back,
you.
man.
Glad to have you, man.
Thank you,
Glad to
guys.
have you.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
things feel whole again. Um,
I appreciate that.
and but yeah, man, Moon Knight.
Moon and Night.
Who wants to kind of start us off? Moon Knight.
I
Ooh,
got you.
I mean, yeah, go ahead, Nate. Go ahead.
I got you. So, I mean, kind of get to the point because we are going to do like a whole kind of first episode review after kind of our first initial impressions. First initial impression, I really liked Moon Knight actually. I was pretty happy there. They once again, even though it's in the superhero genre type of things, they're going at it differently. Like I've liked it. Marvel has been able to kind of pull different elements into just superhero stories. It's not just all superhero fighting bad guy type of like superhero fights. This one
Mm,
seems from at least this ever it had a lot of suspense, a lot of thriller moments and stuff like that, which I thought was actually kind of cool. Uh,
for sure.
so I mean, it'd be nice to have it like a suspense thriller type of superhero John, not always action and stuff like that. First episode, I think it started off kind of slow, but towards the end of that, by the end of the episode, I was definitely invested. I like really liked it.
Definitely. Definitely. Honestly, I
Go
want
ahead,
to
Nate.
commend Marvel. Sorry, yeah, I wanted to commend Marvel because they have a unique way of like combining like different like you know cultural or like religious aspects into
Ooh,
like shows
ooh, absolutely.
and making it just like really really good. You know what I mean? Like if it just be like obviously Norse mythology with like Thor, like now we have Egyptian like like
With
mythology
Kontu
and like
and
like religion like they bringing in like and obviously you have like just the different space stuff going on and like different multi dimensions and you have like the dark hold so you have like that like you have the different universes like they have a way of just bringing like just so many different things together and making it interesting. I don't know too much about like Egyptian cultures or like religious like aspects, but like it's interesting though, like like
Hmm.
they're bringing it into the show and I'm like okay, like wow, okay, there's like this moon deity, like okay, like it makes you just want to like know more about it. It's like very very
Absolutely.
intriguing, like they bring different like aspects in and you're just like wow, like it's interesting, and so my first impressions like so far I think it's honestly been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing how like the first episode went, honestly very suspenseful like Nate said, like just learning like the aspect of like who this character is and like I don't know, Marvel does a very very great job. First of all, I just want to talk about just the acting so far. Acting's been
Mm,
amazing,
mm.
absolutely amazing. Just being able to switch like
who's
from
that?
Mark to
Isaac
Steven, like
Isaac Oscar.
Oscar, yeah, Oscar Isaac.
I
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there was one of
you
those
know,
was
like
wrong. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, he's doing an amazing job. Like just being able to switch like the personality from Steven to Mark and just his British, like the British accent that he's like, like
Right.
it's been absolutely amazing because, like, I don't know, especially like I don't know if you guys remember that one scene, but Marvel always like does like a really good job of like drawing on your emotions and like so that scene whenever he missed the dinner with that
Yes.
girl
Yes.
and like he was
He
just
didn't
like
know what
I
day it
felt
was.
so bad for him. I was just
Yeah.
like, man, like he's drawing on his emotions so well. And oh my gosh, another part, whenever he had like the Egyptian I don't remember what it's called, but
the
he had the
scarab, the scarab,
thing,
the
yeah, the
scarab.
Scared.
scarab,
Yeah.
yeah. And whenever he like his body was working different than like his mind, like you could, it was so well like done. Like you know what I mean? Like it
He
like
had no
really was
idea
like
what was
his
going on.
body was fighting
Yeah.
against himself. It was so perfect. It was so perfect. Overall, like I loved it. I loved it. I'm excited to see where this like multiple personality. goes, and just how like the whole, you know, just now that we know the villain, like just how the whole process goes, and just diving more into the villain story as well too. So it's been great. You know, Marvel always just, they know what they're doing. Always hits.
You know, Brennan, I think you brought up something that I didn't really think about till now as I was listening to you. And you talk about culture, and you're 100% right, man. They, you know, um, Norse mythology. You're talking about with Thor. Um, Obviously, I think when I say when you said it, I was thinking about two other movies, um, and I didn't even think about Thor in Norse mythology, but Black Panther,
Black Panther,
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi,
Now
yeah.
we're getting this whole Egyptian culture, and we'll see where this goes. But it's just, you're right. It makes you want to dive, makes you want to pick up a book and read upon who are these, you know, Egyptian gods, and
Mm, yeah, because like he keeps talking about like Armat, like the guy who's like the who does like the judging and stuff, and I'm like, okay, like who, like it just,
mhm.
you just you want to know more about it. It's
I
very
mean,
It's,
it's crazy. I mean, and a lot of the names, and I'm not an expert on any, but just a lot of the names,
mm,
Osiris, Morbius, and
mm-hmm.
Atune, and I can't think of the god,
Anubis, I think.
Anubis, Amun Ra.
Mm,
Who's the god, the moon?
Khonshu,
Oh boy, um,
Khonshu.
Khonshu.
Conchu,
Thank you,
Conchu.
Khonshu. You know, um, you can pick up a book and read them. I mean, they're, I don't want to say they're real, but they're part of that Egyptian culture. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
I think the exciting part is to see. I think hopefully we kind of get that. I don't want to say history lesson, but almost kind of like you know backstory about the gods, and more,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of more importantly, how does that tie into everything going on in the Marvel universe? Like, where do they fit
I
in?
know,
We've
I
heard
know,
we've heard that term God a lot of times. We've
a
heard
lot of times.
Thor, Odin. Those, they were gods. We've heard
You got the Celestials.
we've seen a form of gods or higher beings with celestials.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the whole multiversal Shumagorath and Cthulhu and
Mm-hmm.
Sidorak. Those are a form of gods and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Nexus beings and
Yeah,
all this.
there
who
are
was
different levels of gods. Like there are gods that are better than other
yeah,
gods.
yeah, I mean,
Like
yeah, exactly. They're all different. So that's what I'm saying. It's like they're all, you have all these different levels of gods. Um, the living tribunal. We
yeah,
saw his head in Loki. Loki was a god. You know what I mean? Like, you have all
yeah.
these things. It's like,
Right,
okay, where do they
right.
fit in here? You know?
King the
Um,
Conqueror.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
he who remains.
He who
He
remains.
Um,
Yeah.
became a god for autistic purposes. Like
right.
And don't even
he,
get me
So
yeah,
started
he
on the
controls
on the
all. He
madness
controlled all
trailer.
of time. That includes the gods included in time. So like at that point in time, he was above them. Like so, there's like.
yeah.
And you
Um,
got the, don't even
there's
get to start with the Multiverse of Madness trailer. That whole
um,
situation.
you
That
know,
movie
Yeah.
filmed.
and people who are looked at God, Scarlet Witch. You know what I mean?
Mm, right.
You know, so it's. I think it's just, if they kind of like keep the story. I don't want to say, I don't use the word contain, but I guess I want to learn more about this Egyptian culture, Brennan, to your point, and then see
Definitely.
how this ties into the Marvel universe. You know what I mean? Because in the grand scheme of things, the multiverse, they might not really mean that much, but I think for this story, I think it's really cool to learn about Khonshu, and essentially um, how he is controlling, Mark Specter. And I know a little bit about Moon Knight, um, about his backstory. Now, again, I think they've already changed some things, but you know, just him and his kind of dissociative identity disorder, and
Mm-hmm.
how that's really kind of, you know,
I think.
already present, to where he's now having to like talk to another part of himself and say, like, calm down, like, I need control. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not to give away the
Right.
ending, but that ending
Right.
was amazing, where you just,
It was.
Yeah.
he's, Steven is looking in the mirror like, what, who the hell are you? And he's
Yeah.
like, I am you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there was the little things, like, I want to go back and watch it. I haven't, but the thing, like when he looks at the fish tank for the second time, he's just like, "Oh, you grew a fin," and the
Right.
girl's just like, "You were just here yesterday." You're like, "I wasn't here yesterday." Like this,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean? And Brendan, you were
Yeah.
talking about, to where he kind of, and I do like the fact that it's told from Steven's perspective. I like that about
Yeah.
this first episode. And
Which.
there's other personas, and it'll be
Mm-hmm.
really cool to see if they're told from
Different
that
perspectives every
perspective.
time.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, Cauchy's a perspective, since he's kind of controlling Mark Specter.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who gives him power.
Right.
There's Mark Specter. There's oh god. Well, I don't know what they're going to do here. There was like four different personas in the comic book. Stephen Grant was one of them. There was a cab driver who was another one, and he kind of used them to essentially one remain normal. I'm not going to say maybe what there's some cues taken from another character that I don't ever want to talk about again. Okay, Nate, you know what I'm talking about. Brendan, you know what I'm talking about. There's some cues taken from another character, but I think the whole dissociative identity disorder is the thing that just makes this character so unique. Where when
Definitely
he's in a character, he truly believes that's who he is,
right,
and is unaware of what's going on or even what his body's capable of and all this kind of stuff. And that scene at the end where he looked in the mirror was just like, who are you? Like, I'm you. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like that, I thought that was amazing. But yeah, man, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Honestly,
go ahead.
Like just piggybacking on like the final scene in Moon Knight, like I just want to commend, like, it's very interesting how Marvel's use of like reflections in this film, not film, in the show, like they like multiple times they've used like for reflections or like moments where like he was looking at himself or like we were looking at him from like multiple reflections, and like you would either like see like one of the reflections moving differently than the other, like just like showcasing that those other personalities there. So I always thought that was interesting. Like even like the bathroom scene, wherever like he's like in the bathroom and like he's like shaking his head at him, and he's like turns on the light, and he's like what?
Right.
Like, there's so many use of those like reflections there. Like I really like just like showcasing that there's like another person like there, like present, like that's like with you. You just So I just thought that was wonderful how they were doing that. I thought that was really cool.
It reminded me of a movie, and I can't think of what it was, but
I mean, shout out to the Disney/Marvel special effects thing, because they definitely when it comes to even their shows, look, I've seen the live action DC shows. I've seen some of the special effects.
We don't talk about.
Oh boy,
I've seen Titans.
We don't talk about.
Special effects hurt to look at.
I tried to avoid this.
You can have good special effects in the shows. You can have it in the shows and the movies. You can do it. You can you can do it. Yeah, you can do it.
You just gotta have like good people behind the scenes, which we can't say that they have those, but and just not we're not trying to throw shots at anyone or anything, but
you just see they won't let me. They won't.
No, we're sticking the Moon Knight. Sticking the Moon Knight here.
Nate, was there anything a special spoiler or anything like that you caught and you said aha? Was there any of those kind of aha moments for you?
In terms of spoilers and stuff,
or not necessarily spoilers, but hey man, this is connected to this. Like, okay, I see where they're going. Was there anything like that for you? You catch anything like that?
No, I'll say that I haven't caught anything, but it's probably because I'm not super well versed in Moon Knight. There was probably a bunch of stuff and I probably just missed it. I will say, I said, my bad. Yeah, I'm not super well versed in Moon Knight, so I'm not sure if I missed anything special or anything. Other than maybe his phone call from Laura, that he had like a bunch of missed calls from. I'll look into that. I think she's actually somebody kind of important, probably prison in the comic books as well, but I'll have to double check. Other than that, first I'm actually saying my favorite thing about the episode real quick, because I mean at this point we're kind of in the review phase here. The fact that they didn't actually show Moon Knight to the end of the episode.
Mm.
Yeah, that was
The fact that it was like a
really
suspense thing all the way up until they showed Moon Knight, and then Moon Knight literally beat the actual dog shit out of the Anubis creature, like in that bathroom, that poor creature,
right.
literally, like
I know. Yeah,
he just
that creature was trying to crawl out. He said, "No,
he's
no,
like
you
no,
can't."
I'm like dang, he's actually just just
So I have a question for both of y'all. So
Yeah.
those scenes where Steven was blacking out, there was the one with the scarf and the people that tried to bum rush him, or whatever, and he wakes up and his hands are bloody. There's when he's driving the van and he has the gun.
Mm.
So, and I think I know the answer. I just want to kind of get your take on that. When he
Mm.
blacks out, does he black out to Moon Knight, or who does he black out to?
well, they said Mark is a mercenary,
Okay, cool.
so that's what that's actually what he does. Like
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
but that's also why Contu kept on saying switch back to Mark, switch back to Mark. Mark knows
Right.
what he's
Okay.
doing. Switch back.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yo, the stuff
Okay.
that
That
Mark
was
was doing though, that man must be like the
Yeah.
coldest guy
Yeah.
in the Marvel in the Marvel
So-
universe.
No, Moon Knight's a
He's-
fighter. Moon Knight can fight. Like
Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
that man
well-
might take anybody one on one. The stuff that he was doing, like
he's one of
he
the
would just like snap in, like everybody's.
in terms of just probably
under.
other than like Shang-Chi and maybe like Taskmaster or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And Taskmaster got to catch him on like Taskmaster already had learned up on some stuff. He can't just come up straight and fight him on the 1v1 radar top and just come out with a dub. No, he got to analyze some stuff, get it learned, and then come into it. Like otherwise, cause that if he's in his Moon Knight like with the Cauchy, like he's not also normal. He's a lot stronger, so he's just gonna dust Taskmaster like before he could catch on to what's going on. Shang-Chi,
Like man,
Shang-Chi will fight him, but Shang-Chi
Yeah,
in terms of just fighting is the quote-unquote best fighter in the Marvel universe in just terms of just
right.
1v1 the hands, not including powers and stuff like that.
Right.
He's gonna beat you. Like that's what he do.
Right. No, makes sense. Completely.
And
makes sense, 'cause, like,
Iron Fist is also somewhere up there, but that's mainly because the Iron
You know what?
Fist.
This might be a good topic because I like where you're going there. This might be a good topic for another video. Who's kind of the best fighters in it?
that would be so sick.
Yeah, scratch. Write that one down.
That would be wonderful.
Because there's some
I think Steve Rogers might be like, yo, like really, like you know,
So
you might have something to say about that, maybe.
I will go off topic, so I'm going to shut up.
Alright.
So, to my understanding, Mark Specter, and I want to know if we're going to go back to this, but yes, he was a mercenary. But before he was a mercenary, he was a soldier. He was like special forces, you know, a lot of accolades as a soldier in the U.S. military. And I don't want to mess this up, but it was something about he took jobs essentially, you know, with other like military personnel, kind of like what was the movie that Ben Affleck did a couple years ago on Netflix? Oscar Isaac was actually in it. What was that movie where they were all like former soldiers and they took a job to like raid that house and get some money? Come on, what was the name of that movie?
I don't
know.
I don't know.
There was a bunch of them. But anyway, they were all former like Navy SEALs, Special Forces. Like they were all badasses, right? So that's essentially what Mark Specter is, and
Frontier.
he kind of what's that?
Triple Frontier.
Yes, Triple Frontier. Like if you go back and watch, and Oscar, like I said, Oscar Isaac, he's in that.
Really,
movie.
Pedro Pascal was also in it. Sorry.
Yes, like they're all like former military, Special Forces, Navy SEALs. They're all badasses, and it's crazy now that I think about it. That story essentially could be like an origin story for Mark Specter because they were all home, you necessarily couldn't find work, and like a group of them kind of took these jobs as mercenaries, you know what I mean? Because they had training and whatever, and you know he essentially got caught up in like a double cross and you know was out in the Egyptian desert, whatever, and was like dying. You know what I mean? I forgot who crossed him or whatever. But he crawled to this huge statue of Khonshu in the desert, and like he heard this voice like, yeah, I'll spare your life, but like you're gonna do my bidding. And he was just like, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean
Yeah.
that's kind of like what happened. But he's
Yeah.
as far as a scrapper, yeah, he's a badass without any power.
Powers. Yeah.
Yeah, I
when
just
it when,
I
and I
feel like
wonder if you're going to go back to like that.
it's crazy because I feel like in the small clips that we saw, they made it very clear that he's that dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like he would have like a gun point in his head, he'd snap out of it. Next, thing you know, he's driving a van backwards, and like everybody's like cars are flipped. It's like, dude, what did he like? What? But
It, it's,
no,
it's 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 that, but it's like times 10 when he's moving. So like
right,
yeah,
his his powers, you know what I mean? And then there's different crazy things where like depending on what moon is how strong he is. Like if it's moon night on a full moon, there's not too many people in the MCU
and you know
touching
what's
him.
crazy? It's crazy is that right before the museum clip, they showed the crescent
It
too.
showed the crescent moon. So that's
Yeah,
like him at like
at minimal,
30%.
like
peak
minimal,
strength,
like
and he
Like
bodied that
Moon Knight
creature.
on a full
Bodied.
just
moon, he's yeah, like he's something else.
Then he bodied that creature. And it's crazy that you mentioned that. Like, I wonder if like throughout this like series are gonna like keep showing like glimpses of the moon, like different
I'm
shades
sure
of
they
it,
will.
and
I'm sure they will.
you know,
I'm sure. I want to see him. Here's the thing I don't want to see. Right? Okay. If we're looking ahead, and like a lot of times, okay. So if oh god, I can't think of his name. The bad guy, Ethan Hawke's character. Okay, like so if he finds a way to manipulate like Stephen Grant, okay, I'm okay with that, right?
mm,
If he finds a way to manipulate another personality and Mark Specter just he just doesn't aware like I'm cool with that, right?
yeah,
He's not manipulating Moon Knight on a full moon. He's not. I mean, the only way for him to manipulate Moon Knight, and I think this is actually where they're going, is you literally have to find a more powerful deity to manipulate Khonshu.
mm.
That I see as a possibility.
I think
But
I
like,
can see that in the
and
villain.
but
Like,
like
here's
this
yeah,
dude, but like this dude with the cane, he's not doing anything to Moon Knight. That's why I think he's so hell bent on like trying to maybe resurrect this other deity.
well,
Maybe this other
hmm,
deity is more powerful than Khonshu. Okay,
right.
there's your one up. But this dude ain't doing it. Like he's not.
I would say
Mm-hmm.
I would
Nope.
say one thing is his scales didn't work on
Nah,
like
Yeah.
they just kept
he
they cut, and I think it's because the whole multiple personalities they can't decide even who the judge because you can't
Right.
because they're not
And he.
neither one of them is like a fake,
Mm-hmm. Right.
like they're both him, like Mark Specter and Steven was it or the
Stephen
same
Grant.
Stephen Grant are real people. They're
Mm-hmm.
just, and another reason why I don't think Ethan Hawke will be able to kind of like really manipulate even Steven is because Mark seems completely aware what Steven's doing. It just seemed Steven seemed out of the loop for whatever else is happening, and I think they preferred to keep it that way so that he has some semblance of normal
Innocence
life.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No. It
because
definitely
I
like
seems
think
Mark is. It definitely seems like Mark is like more in
like
control
Mark puts
because
because
like.
he definitely puts the straps back on him and stuff like he puts him back in the bed. He puts the fish and stuff
Mm-hmm.
back. He puts everything
Right.
back
he
to
bought a new fish.
Exactly.
yeah. He puts
He bought a new
everything
fish,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
tries to make it so that when Steven wakes up or whatever, it's exactly like how he was. Like he knows
Right.
what Steven is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he also knows, and I think this is the thing he doesn't want. He doesn't want Steven to like flip his shit
Yeah,
because that I don't, and I'm not about to diagnose anything. I don't know, like what does that do? Does that create another personality? That what happens? If like Steven
Mm-hmm.
like completely loses, and I was looking at a couple of things and just the way like remember how he found that phone he called Layla, and I'm like okay well Steven essentially is Mark's cover. You know what I mean? Steven is what allows Mark to like roam free and like do his research and kind of literally hide in the shadows.
Yeah, because Steven's just
Because
gonna live a normal life,
yeah,
completely
no one
unaware.
suspects. Yeah, no one suspects Stephen. You know what I mean? So Mark can kind of come and go as he pleases, which just that concept is crazy to think about. That he's just that whole like multiple personalities. Like one personality is so aware that he can come and go as he pleases, and he's using it to like gain research and gain access, and the other one is just clueless. Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
He
That's
just
like
loses days at a time. Like, the fuck is happening? They're like,
you know what I mean? Like that is crazy to me. Oh my god, it just hit me like that
Right.
Steven is Mark's cover. You know what I mean? And Steven is just clueless. But Mark knows behind the scenes exactly what's going on. And I think the only things I think when something traumatic happens to Mark, like when he jumped out that building, you know what I mean? Remember he like landed up and his jaw was dislocated.
Oh
and he
yeah.
probably passed out for a little bit, and Mark woke up.
Like yeah, when he got knocked out. Well, no, Steven woke up.
Yeah, Steven woke up.
You know, and he's waving. He's like hi, and they start shooting at him. You know what I mean? And he had no idea what was going on. So I think, and I guess that's the thing. Like to maybe kind of dive into it, like, what is Mark, because if something stressful happens to Mark, like does Steven just show up or another personality? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think.
Like that's
But I don't think Mark probably expected to pass out going through the window. Like, he probably got knocked out, and then
when he
Steven.
looked back up, I was like, that ain't no ordinary jump, homie. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
No way.
And his jaw was dislocated.
Yeah, no. I was like,
I mean, the fact that he just woke up from that, like,
No, I definitely think they're probably gonna like explore like Mark's side. I highly believe that they're gonna explore like Mark's side of things.
They also.
What do you guys think of like the whole interaction with Cauchy so far? Like I didn't expect it to be like a comical thing.
Cauchy just straight up, like, he's just straight up just disrespectful, yo. I love it. He's calling him a parrot. He's a parrot. He's like, look, he called him a parasite. I was like, oh, he's just straight up disrespectful, yo.
Yeah. Yo, Cauchy's kind of funny. I'm not gonna.
No, I like it. He's like, you don't know what you're doing. He's like, just look, man.
Back, like this guy's terrible. Like
yeah, like you're. Yeah, he's like you're. Yeah, literally, he's like you're like a different player. Like, look, just switch back. Let player one take control.
Like, get off the sticks.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, man, you don't even know how to play this game. Like, like, come on, man.
Get off the sticks. Like, you're terrible in this game. Get Mark back out. You gotta get Mark back out here.
Oh damn! The idiot's in control again. Like,
yeah,
I was not expecting that at all. I was just like,
yeah.
I was like, this is funny. I was just like, oh man, like
saying that. At first, I was like, wait, who is saying that? And I realized it was him. I was like, yo, he's bad disrespectful, bro. Like,
that was hilarious.
Well, he's like a 9-foot bird moon god.
He's a god. Yeah, he's just chilling. You know what I mean? That I was not expecting it. I was like, and I guess I think that kind of does. It's going to be real interesting to see his relationship with Mark, and just like, is this dude just super like comedy? Is he just cutting up on people the whole time? Like, he gets serious?
Because I would assume that if Mark can talk to Steven and Cauchy can talk to Steven, I would assume they can talk to each other. Like, Mark and Cauchy can talk to each other.
Well, Cauchy was talking to Steven, like, run, you know what I mean? He was doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sure they can kind of all talk to each other, but just Cauchy just knows, like, and part of me thinks, like, it's just going to come to, like, Cauchy's like, Mark, why did you do this dumb shit? Why did you leave this asshole here? Like, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying I think Steven is just Mark's cover to be able to kind of roam free and hide in plain sight where no one suspects him. He got different access to do, walks different, his hair was different.
His whole confidence is different.
Yeah, confidence is different, you know what I mean? So that's man, that is a crazy concept. Wow.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to like see I don't know, like their interactions. Like I wonder how they're gonna like do it. If it's just gonna like continue to be the way it is right now, where Steven really doesn't like only in times of danger that he's the only time he can really switch in and out like that, or like is he gonna actually like establish a relationship with Mark where he can kind of communicate with him consistently?
Here's
You know, and Cauchy as well too.
let me tell you something I want. I want Mark to take over while he's at the museum and talk so bad to the manager. Cause she's talking bad to my man Steven.
Oh my god.
I'm like, yo.
That manager is so freaking annoying.
I'm like, why are you talking to my man Steven like that, yo? He's a nice guy.
That's gonna happen. I think another thing's gonna happen. Remember the statue he was talking to? I think that's a real person.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think there's gonna be a scene where like that statue comes alive and just like, yeah.
You're right, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, yo, this statue's about to like move or something right now. Like I don't believe that this is fake.
And here's something else too. Like there was 2 times he called his mom. Who's he talking to?
I thought he was leaving a voicemail.
She never answers. I think it's a setup. Yeah, I think it's a setup for.
But who's he calling?
I think Mark just has a setup for him.
Okay.
Like she never answers the phone. That's why he said, "Sorry, Mr. Called again. Sorry, Mr. Called again. Must have just missed you." It never actually answered. It always goes to voicemail.
Okay.
If that's true, that's so sad. Honestly, that is so sad. Like,
well, here's the thing. If I assume that Mark Specter is the original personality, because he went through all the training, he went through the military, blah blah blah, like he would have the background, so on and so forth. Then he got all that set in place so that his split personality doesn't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Like he found that table. We saw the scratches on the ground, and he found a little flip phone or whatever. I don't know. I kind of think like that whole like him checking in with mom is like either another way to check in with Mark, but Mark can kind of check up on him, or he's checking in with like maybe other mercenaries who are part of that mission. You know what I mean? Or Layla or somebody. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? Layla doesn't seem to have heard from him in a while. Maybe there's other pieces.
Well, he had 47 missed calls.
True.
Yeah, 47 missed calls. I think Margaret is straight up ignoring Layla for some reason because there's no way he didn't see one of those calls.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, definitely. He's like, ooh, let that one go to red.
I don't like put this one on voicemail.
Here's actually what I was super amazed by. He had a working razor. Whatever year it was.
2000.
Yeah, what?
He had a working Motorola razor.
Yeah.
They about to cut that John off for 3G network. They about to send him one of them DCL flip pro.
So, Brendan, you kind of touched on it, and I don't know where we're time wise. But what are some things maybe see in episode 2 you'd like to see, and we'll just kind of leave it there. Like, what do you saw him turn to Moon Knight. You saw the kind of the communication between Mark and Steven. You know, what are some things you're maybe expecting to see in episode 2? Nate, same thing.
So, obviously, I want to see Moon Knight. We got to see Moon Knight there. I would like to see Moon Knight, do his thing at the beginning of the episode, kind of finish off what he's doing. From there, actually, I would say, I wouldn't mind just kind of going back into not Mark's perspective, like, Steven's perspective about what's going on, and then getting some back loop as to actually what happened with Mark. Like, how he ended up going after whatever this scarab and stuff is. Because we don't even know why, like, he was even getting it. Yeah. Or why it's important, so on and so forth. Because I would assume that he's already Khonshu by the time he's getting this scarab.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think Khonshu is the one who's giving the directive to Mark, and Mark is like, well, okay, I don't want my cover blown, so here's Steven, kind of thing. I
here's
agree with
Steven.
So you think we'll get more of that in episode 2?
Yeah, hopefully so, and then just more kind of, like I said, I wanted to keep kind of the suspense thriller thing, and I think you're not going to get that if you have too much Mark and too much Moon Knight.
I got you.
Because Steven is the normal person in this scenario. And I think you kind of want to keep it in the normal person in the scenario's perspective.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. Yes, I got you. I got you. I got you. So, more importantly, can I say this in a different word? Steven is our perspective.
Yeah.
Steven is the viewer's perspective. I got you. 100%. I like that. I like that. Brandon, what about you? What do you think we're going to see in episode 2?
I don't know what we might see in episode 2, but what I want to see in episode 2, or what could possibly happen, I hope they do pick up right where they left off, honestly. Like, I want to see more of, like, Moon Knight, like, just out there, like, I don't know, like, fighting some more. Like, I just want to see him, like, doing his thing. I just hope that they pick up, like, right where
that poor dog creature tried to get out that bathroom. Yeah, that.
No, when he tried to crawl away,
And then they zoom back in the camera. He's just literally just. I was like, that's not even like fighting style. You're literally just. That's like backyard just.
I just looked at him and just, like, walked away. Like, it's just nuts. But I'm gonna go the comic approach here with you, Chris. Like, I hope that they kind of show like how Cauchy and Mark like came together in the first place, and like a little bit of just like how they got the Scarab. Also, like, I want to see like the establishment. Like, maybe like we keep like the Steven point of view, but I kind of want to see like how Cauchy and Mark even like, you know, like how Moon Knight essentially came together, but like was created. Like is it gonna be like the same recreation where he's like on this mission and like he's stranded and like about to die, and Cauchy comes up to him and is like, you know, I'll save you if you do like my bidding type thing, or is it something different? You know, I kind of want to see like just like a little bit of the origin,
a little bit of flashback.
You know,
Gotcha.
Yeah. I hope so. Hopefully
yeah,
we see
that. I think that would be cool. And again, you know, what I said to y'all was more like a footnotes kind of thing. There's a lot more to it, but that's kind of generally what it is. I do believe, Nate, kind of what you're saying, that I think Cauchy is aware of something. I think Cauchy maybe is aware of Ethan Hawke's characters, like trying to, you know, resurrect another deity who's more powerful than Cauchy from a selfish standpoint, and maybe that has some tie in with the multiverse. Like, okay, if this dude gets out, you know, this is a multiversal character, whatever. I think that'll tie in well to the MCU. But I wonder, like, is this series, you know, like, is this one series where, like, if we get too much Moon Knight, it kind of waters it down? Does it take some of the luster off?
Yeah,
of Moon Knight?
that's what I don't want. Like, I don't want it to become just another action. Like, obviously there's action in it, but I don't want it to become just another action title.
Right, I got you.
I feel that.
I like the suspense. I like the kind
me too.
of. I would love to, and I'm probably going ahead of just episode 2. And you know, maybe we can, you know, once we get in, maybe actually episode 3, because there's what, 6 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe when we get to episode 3, we can kind of talk about maybe we're just going to see it, you know, in the latter half of the series. But episode 2, I kind of agree. I hope it, you know, I hope episode 2 literally picks up with like Steven, you know, maybe he wakes up in the bed and like he goes in the mirror and like Mark's talking to him. Like, that would be dope. Like, hey, like here's what's going on. Like that, I would love that. You know what I mean? Just like he was just like you know, in his English accent, like, what do you talk about, and what blah blah blah. And Mark is just like, look, dude, like I essentially created you. Like, just shut the hell up and just you know what I mean?
Follow my lead, yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I would love to maybe see more of the relationship with Cauchy and Mark, and if kind of maybe essentially Lane. I do believe that's what's going on. I think Cauchy is the one who's like, I don't want to say pulling the strings, but ultimately he's just like, something's going on. That's why Mark's in that part of the world to begin with, but he's just there as Steven. Like, there's a reason he's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think Layla, you know, maybe she knows something to do with it. Whoever this mother person he's calling every night, I don't, you know, maybe we get some more of that, but
I have a feeling we probably will.
You know, as a whole, I'm you know, I'm excited, man. I think this is cool. I mean, this is just another story. Ultimately, with MCU, it's kind of cool to see where things tie in, and from a grand scale of things. I think I've said it before, and I think we talked about it before, with this whole multiverse thing, man. Like, literally, like I don't think everything has to tie in together. Like everything kind of had to tie into like Infinity War and Endgame.
Right.
Not everything has to tie in together now. They can literally be their own story.
Right, and I feel like that's what the approach that they might be taking with Moon Knight, and I honestly don't mind it because, like, I don't know, like, I was like a little weary about like the multiverse stuff because I was like, like, will it take away from like other stories that might be going on, like you have Spider-Man Far From Home stuff, and obviously the implications are going to be shown in like the multiverse of madness. But I'm like, is it going to take away from like a series like Moon Knight that has like nothing to do with it? Like,
I don't think it will.
I don't feel like it will. And like, I felt like reassured when Falcon and Winter Soldier came out because it was still very enjoyable. I was like,
yeah.
This is like super good. Like, despite all the galaxy like multiverse stuff going on, like stuff on that level is still really good and important. And like, I feel like after that show came out, I was like, yeah, I think Moon Knight is just like it doesn't need to like have to do with like the larger scheme of things.
No,
it can still be really good. I think.
Gotcha.
They've now introduced enough characters to do self-contained stories.
Sure.
Like, which is dope. It's dope that they've gotten to that point where they're comfortable even releasing some of these off characters that people don't even know, like Moon Knight, and giving them even self-contained stories, stuff like that to get those characters out there. Like imagine taking a chance with a new character, Imagine that.
Stop.
Nate,
you know what? Go ahead and take us home, man. Go ahead and give us your final
I got you, Boss.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Boss.
You about to open up a can of worms, so we go.
Boss, I want to appreciate everybody for watching through the whole video. We definitely appreciate it. It's been a while since all three of us got together. It's been a good time. It was nice to have all three of us again.
It was wonderful.
Hopefully, we can get this thing back up and kind of rolling here now that Moon Knight's rolling. We got Moon Knight coming. We got Obi-Wan. We got
a lot of great things coming.
We got Thor coming out soon.
Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness is
coming in May.
Yeah, so we got a lot of things happening in real quick succession. So hopefully we can get these videos out pretty consistently.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna
try our best, guys.
Gonna try our best.
We can knock out these once a week, man. We'll be good.
Oh, once a week. I think we can do that.
Man, hey, for y'all, we're gonna try for once a week. Okay, we're gonna try.
But in May, when things start busting out, we're gonna try to be more consistent, guys. We appreciate it.
Once again, please like, subscribe, help us out, helps us get seen, so we can share this with more people and hopefully get some more people involved with the conversations. Once again, thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
See y'all later.
See you guys later.